Hi everyone, and welcome to 2020. For those of you who don't know me, my name's Luanne Ward. I'm a dating and relationship expert for more than 2.5 decades. So today I want to talk to you about dating trends and how to be successful in any age group when you're dating. Things change so quickly. It doesn't matter what age group you're in. There's benefits and drawbacks in each age group. I'm basing my information not just on my experiences working in the industry, but also on statistics. And statistics don't lie. Okay, so these are dating statistics, and I'm basing them on Australian dating statistics, but they don't really change that much globally anyway. But I'm going to share some things with you today from 2019 and what the predictions are moving forward for dating. So whether you have just come onto the dating scene and you're a newly single person, or whether you've been single for a long time and still doing the treadmill of trying to find the right person, hopefully some of these tips and trends will set you on the right path. Now, here's some shocking truths for you. $120 million was spent throughout the dating industry. And when we talk about the dating industry, we're not just talking about online and apps, we're talking about, social groups, matchmaking, speed dating. The whole dating industry was pipped at $120 million for the year, which is quite a lot. 44% of users were in the age group between 25 and 34. So the biggest age group that uses online as their platform to meet somebody is 25 to 44. You then had 12% of users which were in the age group of 18 to 24. So 35 to 44 age group was 24% of users. 45 to 54 was the lowest by far, with only 4% of people online in that age group. And there's potentially a lot of reasons for that. I'll explain those a little bit further. And 16% were 55 to 64. Funnily enough, this is actually the fastest growing age group entering into the online market field. So what does this mean for your age group? How can you do this better? So now I'm going to share with you the most damning statistic that I actually read. For me, it was a massive shock reading this. Probably maybe might not shock some of you that are using online or apps as your method of meeting somebody, but 76% of users are men and 24% of users are females. What this potentially does to somebody using online has a massive impact. 3 men to every 1 woman. Gosh, I don't know whether I'd want to be a man dating at the moment, or actually having that kind of information. Maybe that's comforting. Maybe this is, a comforting bit of information to help you realize why you're not doing so well online if you're a guy. So how can you be successful in different age groups? I'm going to go through the different generations and give you some real advice based on the statistics and based on what is it that you can actually do in these age groups. So if you're in the Gen Z age group, which is potentially 18 to 24, Tinder is the ruler. Okay, so that is the predominantly, and these actually on Tinder, this is global figures, that's the biggest age group that actually uses Tinder. So this is a great, when we're talking about any sort of online platform, if you're going to use, that's the one where you're most likely to be successful. But it's really, really important that in this age group, that you're out and about and you're using your friends, because most of your friends in this age group are single. So is there really a need for apps? Probably not. This is your lowest age group that should need apps. However, 12% of you are still, 12% of the marketplace is still using this. I think if you're lacking a little bit of confidence, this can be a good way to meet people, but I certainly wouldn't be relying solely on that. Get out and about, talk to people. Social anxiety, if you don't do that, will start to set in, and by the time you get to your 30s, you might find that it's really difficult for you to actually mix socially without the app. So certainly use your apps, but get out and about, socialize with your friends, mix with people your own age group, and just have fun. This is the age where you make a whole pile of mistakes, date a whole pile of people, Don't be in a rush to grow up too quickly. Don't be in a rush to get into that long-term relationship where, you know, you've got to live together and grow up way too quickly, because you'll probably end up a divorce statistic. The younger you get married, the more likely chance there is that you'll get divorced earlier. So what about, I'm not going to call millennials the next age group, because I was told by somebody that's a millennial, millennials hate being called millennials. So I'm not going to call you that. We're going to refer to it as Gen Y. Now, Gen Y, this is an age group it's quite a big age group, so 25 to 39 potentially. So I'm going to talk about the majority of people in that age group. And let's remember that the 25 to 34 was 44% of users online. That's monstrous. 25 to 34, and if 76% of you are men, this is a massive, massive imbalance here. So what can you do? I think that anyone that's just hearing this would say that logically, get off the apps. You know, it's not the only way that you can meet somebody. And I know that this is a frustrating age group, because a lot of your friends are starting to get hooked up, they're in relationships, they're getting married, and you can tend to sometimes feel that you're missing out a little bit. So being online, again, it's a pretty easy way to meet people. But the more you stay online, the more addicted you become to the process of dating online. Okay, so it's one after the other and not getting anywhere because you're not spending time getting to know somebody. You know, it just is not normal to just have one day after the next, looking for the next best thing, because that next best thing might not come along. You've got to stop and spend time getting to know somebody. I've said it before and I'll say it again, it's your most important decade for dating if you're in your 30s, because if you don't get this decade right, it's unlikely you're going to be able to make up for it come your 40s. So what can you do? You can't just rely on being online. I know a lot of people say, oh, but you know, I do other things. Or do you do other things that are outside of your circle? Do you do other things that are outside of the comfort zone? Because you need to start doing this. Start taking on new hobbies. Start strategizing different ways that you can meet new people. Clean up your social media. Every single person, before they meet you, will stalk you. They're experts at it. And a lot of Gen Y is working for me, and the things that they've taught me about what you can find out about somebody online is amazing. If your Facebook or your Instagram looks like a shrine to your ex, do you think that the person that's deciding to date you is going to see you as a viable proposition if you're still holding on to your past, or, you know, the silly dumb posts that you put up? Great, they're what you did then, but you're going to be judged for those. So clear up your social media. Also, how to look at your image online, on your online dating apps and on your profiles. Because yes, men and women are both visual, but statistics prove that men are more likely to go for the girl that's more conservatively dressed and stylishly dressed rather than the bikini-clad girl. So you don't need to be flaunting at all to attract a guy. And guys, I know that you're not like girls and you don't take photos of yourself while you're out to dinner and say to your mates, hey, can you take a photo of me drinking my glass of wine? It's not how it's done. But the high vis and the fish photos and the standing next to the tiger, they're not doing you favors. So have a look at what your image says about you. Be yourself, but put your best foot forward. You only get one chance to make a first impression. And the other thing is, you know, when we look at the 25 to 30 part of Gen Y, you know, maybe this isn't the time for you to get into that full relationship. So, you know, that age group, still be out, still be having fun. But when you do hit your 30s, it's actually time to get a strategy, and to get a bloody good strategy, because you're going to need that. And when I say a strategy, the strategy just isn't about joining every single app and every single new online service that hits the marketplace, because everybody does that. You just migrate from one to the next, and that's not the answer. The answer is to expand yourself. So let's look at the next age group, which is still part of Gen Y. This is an age group 35 to 44, and don't forget that 24% of people online or on dating apps are in this age group. So what is it you can do in this age group to increase your chances of becoming a successful dater and actually getting the outcome? You've got to remember that not everybody has the outcome when they're dating for a long-term relationship. Some people are just very happy to date and use it as a recreation. So especially people that have come out of long-term relationships, and when you start to talk about your early to mid-40s, some of these people are fitting into that category. So what can you do in this age group? Stop trying to find the perfect person, because surely by now you've figured out that they don't exist. The Hollywood movie, the fantasy about how a relationship should be, doesn't exist. So by the time you get to 35, your personality is set, your memories are set, and this is who you're seeing. So the person that you're dating is pretty much how they're going to be. You've got to stop looking for the perfect person. You've got to stop trying to date yourself. You've got to stop thinking, oh, okay, well, look, I'm educated, so I need someone that's educated, or, I'm this, and so I want someone that's that. And also the opposite applies of, gee, well, it'd be good to find someone that has money, because I don't really have a lot of money, so I really like that, so I want to date as many people as I can before I find someone that's good looking, has money, has prospects, and wants to sweep me off my feet. This is a fantasy. Okay, so let's get back down to reality and put the fantasies over there and actually get to reality. What can you do to be more successful in dating? Get some new hobbies, for goodness sake. Stop doing the same things. Yes, you might enjoy doing certain things, that's fabulous, but get out and try some new stuff, because the old stuff that you're doing isn't working. Where can you go and what can you do? I think the other thing to consider is what would be important to you in your life if you didn't have a partner. Okay, so let's think that, maybe in 5 years' time you still won't have a partner. What is it that you need in your life that you can give yourself? So for example, if you're not very good with money, for example, go and take some workshops in how to manage money better, how to make smart investments. Workshops are a fantastic place to meet people because you can talk to anybody. Look at what you enjoy doing and play a little game with yourself. What if you only had a year to live? What would everything be on your bucket list? And start making plans to do things. Set small, realistic goals for yourself, because you'll meet somebody if you are just out and about and enjoying yourself and having fun. Sitting on your couch doing this one, and this is not going to help you find a partner. Do that, but don't predominantly only do that. So next age group, Gen X, 40 to 54. This age group had the lowest amount of users online. I found that really staggering. Not only did it have the lowest, but only 4%. And 4%, when you look at 3-to-1 ratio of men to women, guys, this is time to get offline. Apps are not the place for you if you're in this age group, because there's just not enough women and there's too much competition. I think women are much better at strategizing and problem solving as a species anyway, and so they're looking at different alternatives. Also in this age group, you've got to remember that it's probably lower online because a lot of people are still married in this age group. Okay, so your kids are younger, a lot of people are still doing the whole marriage and relationship thing. So it's safe to say that this is part of the reason that this age group is lower as well. But what can you do in this age group if you do want to get out and you do want to have a relationship, and you might have come out of a relationship and spent a couple of years on the dating scene and find that online isn't working for you? Don't feel so bad about that now that you know that only such a small percentage of users are taking that road. So where can you go and what can you do? In my perception, this is the easiest age group. It really is, because in this age group, when we were in our 20s, and I'll say that because I'm in that age group, but when we're in our 20s and 30s, we didn't have apps. There was no online dating. So we were used to going out and we were just talking to people. We're interacting all the time. It wasn't uncommon for somebody to ask for your phone number and for you to give it to them. So I hear from so many people in this age group, actually all age groups, of women, and one of their biggest gripes is that, oh, men just don't come and talk to you anymore. So guys, get offline and go and talk to a woman. You're going to find that they're really not hard. I mean, if you're going to go and talk to the most beautiful woman in the room that's 20 years younger than you, it's highly probable that you could get rejected. But go and talk to just a normal woman. They don't actually mind being interrupted if they're there with a group of friends and you see somebody that you find appealing or attractive. What have you got to lose? If you say nothing to this woman, there's a 100% chance that you'll fail. And if you say something to this woman, there's a 50% chance that it's a yes. So to me, it's a bit of a no-brainer. This is an age group where you're free to actually go and talk to people because we're used to it. We're used to having that level of conversation. So if you're in this age group, yep, sure, put yourself online, not on every single app that there is. And don't try to punch above your weight thinking, oh, well, you know, my last partner was this and this and this, so now I'm going to need my new partner to be all the things my last partner wasn't, plus more. So get realistic about what your expectations are and talk to people. Girls, you can actually also talk to men. They really appreciate it as well. So baby boomers. Is there like a number that goes with that? I'm not quite sure. Everyone just refers to it as baby boomers. So I'm going to refer to the age group of 55 to 64 as the baby boomers. And this age group is actually the fastest growing age group of people online. You're going to find the trend that a lot of online dating and a lot of sites and apps will really target this age group of people. So this is a great option for you baby boomers. But what you also have to watch out for is this is also the age group where you are most likely to get scammed, and we can't ignore the frequency of this. And I know that for many of you sitting back thinking, oh, I'm too smart for that, that would never happen to me, but it actually happens to a lot of really intelligent people, because scammers don't go for somebody that doesn't have money, you're no good to them. So they specifically target people that actually have got money, and because your defenses are down thinking that this couldn't happen to you, it does happen to you. 120 million that is spent in the industry, and then you look at how many scams are reported online. The ACCC reported over $60 million worth of scams last year, and that's not only dating scams, but in the age group scammed, it's more common for baby boomers than any other sort of age group. So be online for sure. It's a great option for you. And don't make the same mistakes that a lot of people make and put yourself on every single dating app and every single online portal. Choose the ones that are specific to what your age group is. Choose the ones that you're going to have most luck on. Putting yourself on Tinder, for example, not really wise. This is not an app that's designed for that age group. All right, so get a strategy as well. Figure out what apps, do your research before you put yourself online, because you're going to have a much better success rate and you're going to have a much better experience. Also, don't be lazy. This is an age group where I hear so many women complain that the men don't follow through. So guys, if you're going to put yourself on there and you've got a 3-to-1 again, don't be lazy, follow through. Don't just talk to somebody. If your intention is only to talk to somebody, go to the tennis club or go down the pub and talk to somebody. So they're my dating trends and tips and how to be successful in any age group when you're dating. The other thing I will say is that there's so many services out there that offer strategies. And the strategy isn't just about, oh, let me just join every online dating service that there is. That's not a strategy that's going to really work. Of course it works for some people, because we all know people that have met online, and online is really a great option, just shouldn't be your only option. There's so many companies that offer dating strategies. So there are a lot of companies that will offer different alternatives for you and help you strategize ways of meeting the right people. I know my team and I work with a lot of people throughout all of Australia and put together actual dating strategies, looking at your age group, what you like to do, you know, what your personality is, and then customize a strategy for you so that you can actually go out and independently know where to go and what to do. So seek things out, seek out answers that aren't just in front of you. So seek out what the actual alternatives are. You only know the alternatives that you know, but if you go to an expert, they know so many things that you don't know. And guys, like seriously, 3 to 1 online, is that really the competition that you want? There's other things that you can do. So happy dating in 2020. Okay, this is the start of a new decade, and there's going to be so many things that are changing, and so many new apps that come onto the marketplace. Get ahead of your competition, understand what the competition actually is and what your competition is doing, because that will help, and just have fun. The person that you're looking for, there's not only one potential partner for you out there, there's multiple. But how do you know when you've met them? That's going to be a subject we'll talk about soon as well. So thanks for tuning in, and whoever you are and wherever you're watching this from, don't forget to join the Facebook group She Said, He Said. There's only 3 requirements for being in this group: that you have to be male or female or have an opinion. And they're the 3 requirements for joining. It's not just a group for single people, but it is a group that's designed to bridge the gap and see how differently men and women actually really think. So jump on and join that Facebook group, She Said, He Said. The link's just there below. And I look forward to hearing all of your opinions and impressions about dating and relationships. We'll see you again soon.